Hello everybody, it's Maikito. I hope everybody's having a good day, has had a good day so far. There was no video yesterday because it was a pretty small slate, and I just thought it would be good after that day to just take a day break, regroup. That way I could have a good video here for you guys for Saturday slate. There's plenty of games to go through. As always, if I do have any edit plays, there will be in the pinned comment either later tonight or tomorrow morning before the game start, just because lines shift, lines get taken away, just stuff like that. But like I said, I found plays that I like, so I'm not going to waste any time. I'll get straight into the picks. And the first pick is Declan Rice to go under 56.5 passes playing at home for Arsenal going up against Aston Villa. He averages 42.37 passes per 90, so averages under this market in general. He's gone under in his last 8 out of 10 games and 16 out of 19 in total this season. So that's a really good hit rate there. And if you look at the games he went over against Ipswich Town, in which he played as the CDM, and also Ipswich allowed the most passes to opponents in general. He went over, I believe, against Everton, who allowed the second most passes, and they were tied, so Arsenal was just controlling the ball. Everton was just defending for their life. And the last game he went over was against Leicester, who allowed the 5th most passes, and he played as the CDM. So the games he got over was against teams that allow a lot of passes, and he was more than likely playing as the CDM. So not really worried about that there, because Aston Villa, he already played him once this season, went under with 30. So he's already played against them once, and he went under in that mark. And Aston Villa allowed the 7th least passes to opponents. So it's just a great matchup in general. That's why I feel like this is too high of a mark, and he should be playing as a box-to-box. The only reason why I also like this play is because Thomas Partey should be playing. So Partey should be the CDM that sits back on defense, while Odegaard and Declan Rice are the ones that are the box-to-box, so they won't really be involved as much when it comes to passing around the back. So that just means less passes for Declan Rice, so that's good for him. I think it's too high of a mark, and Arsenal are more likely to go up than Aston Villa are. I just think it's a good matchup as well. Too high. I like this play. I like Declan Rice to go under 56.5 passes. And the second play that I found that I like is Ademola Lookman to go over 2.5 shots playing at home for Atalanta going up against Napoli. He's averaged 3.83 shots per 90. And the reason why this mark is at 2.5 instead of like 3 or 3.5 is because Napoli allowed the 3rd least shots at 9.7. They go from allowing 8.3 at home down to 11.1 away. And I mentioned this because he already played them once this season. He played them away, so at Napoli's house, where they allow 8.3 shots, and he still went over with 3. Now he's playing at home, and Napoli's playing away, where they allow even more shots. So he already went over with a more difficult matchup, and now he's playing away. So I think it's a good mark in general. He's played 8 home games, technically 9, but one of them was off the bench, so we can't count that one. He's played 8 games at home, and he's gone over this mark in 6 out of those 8 games. And if you look at the 2 games in which he went he went under against Empoli, and that one was just, they were just unlucky. And that was Charles de Keteler's game. He usually takes like 2 shots max. He took like 5 shots that game, so he took a majority of those shots. And then the other game he went under was against Monza, and he got subbed out at halftime. But I definitely do not see him getting subbed out at halftime here. He plays as a left striker, so he likes to cut in and shoot with his right. His right foot is his most dominant foot, so a lot of his shots are him cutting in from the left to his right and taking those shots. So you guys know that it doesn't take a lot of space for him to be able to take those shots as well. So I like that. And he's a long shot taker. He's taking 39 from inside the box, 11 from outside the box, and a lot of those shots that are inside are right from outside the box. So he will take those shots if he is finding the opportunity. So I like that from him as well. And he's a counterattack threat, a fast break threat, and he's a good dribbler. So if he has those opportunities, it's going to be really hard for Napoli to take the ball away from him, and he will find those opportunities as well. So there's just plenty of places for him to take those shots. And because this is a close game, first of all, he is their main shot taker. Pulisic plays as an attacking midfielder, and De Keteler is a striker partner. But like I mentioned before, De Keteler is more of a passer than a shooter. So Lookman is their main shot taker as well. And it is a very important game when it comes to the title race, because Napoli is first place, Atalanta is 3rd. So Atalanta can shift that position and cut their lead down to, I believe, like 1 point or 2 points if they can win this game. So he needs to be out there, he needs to attack, and if Atalanta want to win, Lookman will be the one taking those shots. So I like the mark at 2.5. So I like Adamala Lookman to go higher than 2.5 shots. Before I get into the money line plays, if you guys please could like the video, comment as well. It helps boost the video out to more people. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, turn on notifications. And if you want to support the channel just a little more, you can join the membership. Not only are you supporting me as well, but you also get the videos out early before they go out public. If you're not a member, those that are members already got this video out and got all the plays. And these lines do tend to get bumped and taken away sometimes relatively soon after I post these videos because of the influx of people that are making these bets. And you never know, they could have an eye on me, I don't know. But any picture that you see on the screen when it comes to the data is from an app called Outlier. I have the link for that as well. You get a 7-day free trial. Same thing with all my player prop apps, Underdog and PrizePicks, and my moneyline app, which is Fliff. All linked in the description. So I want to thank anybody who supports me in any way. But I do have 2 money line plays, and the first one is both teams to score in the West Ham and Crystal Palace game for -180. West Ham have scored 16 goals in 11 home games, so they average a goal scored a game. And then Palace have scored 13 and 11 away, so they also average 1 goal scored, a little over a goal scored a game. And if you look at both of their defensive records, West Ham have conceded 24 goals in those 11 games, and Crystal Palace have conceded 11 goals in those 10 games. So West Ham is much more weaker defensively at home than Crystal Palace, and that's actually a good thing for me because I feel like West Ham for sure score is whether Palace score, and I think they will. This prop has hit for West Ham when they play at home in 8 out of 11 games. This prop has hit in 73% of games when West Ham plays at home. And if you look at the games where it didn't hit, 2 of those were against Liverpool and Chelsea, and that was just because West Ham couldn't score. They were going up against tough defenses, so I do not blame them that much there. And then they played against Everton, and that game just had 2 great keeper performances. There was no goal scored in either game. There was 10 shots on target and no goals. It was just great keeper performance, but I don't expect that here at all. And when I mentioned before that I can easily see West Ham scoring, it just all depends on Palace, but Palace are fully healthy in attack. They have Mateta, they have Nketiah, they have obviously Eze, so they will find a way to score. They attack a lot down the wings as well with Mitchell and Munoz, so I just feel like with the West Ham's weak defensive record, Palace will find a way. And I'm not worried about West Ham because even with Jared Bowen out, they played a game without him last game and they managed to score 3 goals against Fulham, who's a good defensive team. So West Ham will find a way to score. Palace will find a way to score. So I think you're getting good value here by taking both teams to score. So I believe this will be a back and forth game. If one team score, they'll defend, and then the other team will just go out and attack and will find a way. So I like both teams to score for -180 for West Ham and Crystal Palace. And then the last prop that I found that I like is Atletico Madrid to go higher than 1.5 goals playing away from home for -130 going up against Leganés. They are in fantastic form. They have won their last 15 games straight. And in those 15 games, they have scored 2+ in 11 out of 15. So that's a 73% hit rate. You could technically take their money line, but it's much more juiced. And that's because Atletico Madrid could maybe win 1-0. But I do not see that happening here. I can see them easily scoring 2-3 goals. They already played them once this season and scored 3 against them. And again, you're getting much better value taking their higher than 1.5 goals than just taking their money line, which is why I'm taking it as well. And I like to play regardless. So Leganés have conceded 15 goals in 9 home games. So they've conceded the second most in any other team at home, and they concede almost 2 goals a game. So that's good for us as well. It's not like they're a good defensive team. They're one of their worst, second worst team. And they do not play possession. And Atletico, who's a team that doesn't really play possession either, still managed to get 63% of the ball against them in that first game. And they took 24 shots because of it. So if Atletico take the -1 shots, they will score 2+ goals. Atletico usually don't shoot that many shots, and when they do, they are clinical. So if they're given that amount of shots, they will score 2 to 3 goals, which is exactly what happened last game. Atletico scored 3 goals against them. We just need them to score 2 besides Leganés playing their own half, and that's going to be very dangerous against a team like Atletico, who when they don't have the ball, they're an aggressive team and try to take the ball. So if Leganés have the ball and they're trying to play around the back, I can easily see them losing the ball and Atletico taking advantage of that opportunity and taking those shots. So it's a good matchup all around. They're in great form and you're getting good value here. So I like this play. I like Atletico Madrid to go higher than 1.5 goals for -130 going up against Leganés. Thank you everybody for watching. Quickly going over last video's picks. It was a 1-2 day. The one that hit was Mitoma, higher than 1.5 shots. Even with João Pedro, he did end up playing. Mitoma still went over, so that was good for us. We have Bruno Fernandes under 54.5 passes, and he unfortunately missed. I did mention a main reason why I like this prop is because I expected United to go and take the lead, which meant more position for Southampton. But the complete opposite happened. Southampton took the lead, which meant more position for Manchester United. So it was just unfortunate. I didn't expect United to concede at least first against Southampton, so that was just unfortunate. And then I had Real Madrid higher than 2.5 goals. They did score 5, but they only managed to score 2 in the first 90 minutes, which is where the bet hits. And that game in of itself, if you watch it and you follow soccer and you watch the game, you know how controversial that game was. Not even in Madrid's favor, against them. How not to get into like any soccer politics or anything, but how much the referees favor a team like Real Madrid. So, but other than that, it was a 1 and 2 day. I feel like the reads were just there. We were just unfortunate. Again, Southampton shouldn't have took the lead against United. And then Real Madrid had plenty of opportunities and they couldn't capitalize, at least not in the first 90 minutes. But hopefully we still have the good reads. I like these reads for tomorrow's slate. So hopefully we can carry on the good momentum we had before that video and do great when it comes to this video and Saturday's slate. Like I mentioned, if I do have any added plays, they will be in the pinned comment either later today or tomorrow morning. Usually try to have at least one, might not have any. I'm not going to force any plays. You guys know I try to be as transparent as possible. And for those that don't know, I do have a Discord link in the description, completely free, not a premium for those that want to join. It's a good community I'm trying to build over there where people talk about their own plays during the games, other sports, stuff like that. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.